Good morning, everyone. It's a lovely, lovely morning that we're blessed with. And I thank you all for coming out. It has been a great year for Pittsburgh Sarcoma in terms of its mission. And seeing you all here makes it an absolutely great day. At this point, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Rod for some opening remarks, and then we'll do the national anthem.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out today. We're thrilled to see so many people. We're thrilled with this great weather. This is a great cause, and all of you showing up just shows how wonderful the people of the greater Pittsburgh area are. Just thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Peyton, you're up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Peyton for our Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we've held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That was absolutely wonderful. And now, it's time for our warm-up. So I'm going to bring Josh Plassmeyer out to announce who's going to join him.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out to PCS tonight. I have a very, very special few guests with me to do the warm-up. So I'm going to invite the Gamma Storm 13U softball team, led by Gabby, our survivor, up on the stage right now. Come on, ladies. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. They might need a little encouragement from everybody. Give them a round of applause. Come on. They're just going to run you through some simple leg warm-ups as we begin to go on this, as they break that down. So if you're running the race today, you probably have already started your warm-up, which is a great thing. These are just some very simple ones that can help out through your stuff. Go ahead, girls. Where were we starting? Leg stretches? What are we doing? Storm 13U. Give them a round of applause again. That was a a lot for them. It's a shy team, but they came out today to support Gabby, so we really appreciate that.
Good. No. Not.
I'm going to hand it back to Rod and Mark.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right, at this time, I would like to invite Sue Suit, our race director, and Casey Kilroy, our corporate sponsorship chair, to help us fix this sign behind me.
Yeah, I just came from that way and there's nothing set up over there. Well, they don't set it up so closer because you can't just be like walking. Yeah, I don't know where, but I don't see it. It's not straight. Alright, there's enough people now. We did our part. I know he's recording it.
Josh.
White shirt and stage cap.
Come on up.
It went to.
Okay.
Oh, wait, channel 11. Yes. Hey, how are you? Good, how are you? Good. I'm driving. They're all kind of around. This is the guy who's talking.
Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? My name's Casey Kilroy. I handle corporate sponsorships for the race. It's my opportunity right now just to call out some of our top corporate sponsors. We're really, really grateful for their support. And we couldn't do it without them. So we do have some of them here today to my right. And we encourage you to stop by and say hello and thank them in person. We have two $20,000 corporate sponsors this year. This is the highest amount for 2026 and our highest ever. So we are super grateful to Wheelan Wealth Management and Vision to Venture at the $20,000 level. So thank you so much. We have FedEx here today also at $15,000. We're super grateful. FedEx is a diamond sponsor at $15K. I also want to take a moment to recognize UPMC, Emerald sponsors, West Virginia Medicine. They're both Emerald sponsors at $10K. So thank you so much, UPMC and WVU Medicine. Allegheny Health Network, a platinum sponsor, they are here today. On the end here, please come by, say hello to them, and thank them in person. We also, at our 5K level, are super grateful for the laborers, Local 158, Texas Rothaus, who's here today with free food. So please, please say hi to them and thank you. Western Edge Seafood Outlet, they're on my left, and they also have free food here for you today. And Natera is here with the $5,000 sponsorship. So Natera here also, thank you so much. A couple others that I'd like to point out. Petromax, First National Bank, Decipher, Forbes, the Hanger Clinic, J&J MedTech, Elizer. And last but not least, we do have a team here from the Allegheny County Medical Society, Tri-State Trailer Sales, Zimmer Biomet, Apex Surgical, Nettie's Arts and Letters, Culligan Water is here today, free water and reusable water bottles. So please make sure you say hi to them and take some water with you today. And last but not least, UBS with a $1,000 sponsorship. Thank you once again to our corporate sponsors. Again, we couldn't do it without you. Have a great race day and see you on the track.
Hello? This is Susu. I'm your acting race director. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the very first doctor that ever received our grant in 2012, I believe, was from St. Louis. And he was a brilliant mind, Dr. Brian Van Tine, and unfortunately he passed away suddenly this year. So I thought we'd like to mention him. He made an effort the first year after he received the grant to come back in from St. Louis to be here. So I think everybody needs to say a little prayer for his family. So the top fundraising teams are Team Danielle, Renee McIntyre is the captain. They have 16 participants. They have $63,250 worth of donations. And a total for $63,735. The next team is Maura Strong. Maura Whelan is the team captain. 49 participants at $25,995 donations, and the total $27,515. Our own Rothaus, never mind the Bullocks, has 20 participants. He's number 3 with 26,146 donations, 26,811 total contribution. In 4th place is Dan and Debbie's Disease Destroyers with Daniel Alo, and they have 5 participants. Their donations are $19,500, and their total is $19,665. The next team is number 5, and it's McCulley. Arthur McCulley is the team captain. They have 21 participants, $15,300 in donations, and $15,935 total. In 7th place, Allegheny County Medical Society Physicians Against Sarcoma. Melanie Mayer is the team captain with 19 participants, 9,795 donations, and a total of $10,390. Number 8 is Never Tell Me the Odds. Jean-Pierre Benasso. 33 participants, 7,710 donations, 8,745 total. The next one is number 9, and it's Team Luke Strong. Janice Blancock is the captain. They have 37 participants. Their total donations is 4,546, and their total is 5,691. Number 10 is Team Adrienne, aka Team Butteroctomy, and it's Maria Page. They have 33 participants, 4,437 in donations, and 5,462 in total. 11th place is Sierra Shines On. Tiffany Daly is the team captain, 50 participants. Total of donations is 3,805 for a total of 5,330. Number 12 is Team JP Cage. Jessica Barnhart, she has 6 participants. Their total is contributions 4,750 and a total of 5,145. In 13th place is Linda Lamas, and it's Kevin Ferris, the team captain, 13 participants, 4,285 in donations, and 4,720 total. And the last number 14 is Sarcoma Slayers with Janet Day, 14 participants, 3,875 donations for a total of 4,305. So we want to give everybody a round of applause whether you raise $10 or $2,000. Everybody enjoy the day and have a good blessed day.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Casey. And thank all of you for your hard efforts to raise funds, to recruit members to your teams, and to support the mission of Pittsburgh Cures Sarcoma. Speaking of the mission, one of the key things is research into the mechanisms of sarcoma, how to prevent the disease, as well as how to cure people who unfortunately contracted sarcoma. And among the things that have been of greatest value have been the tumor registry and the tissue bank, for which we thank Kurt Weiss for all of his work. But Kurt is now expanding on that through a grant from the Department of Defense, and I'd like him to come up here and fill you in on the details.
Hey everybody, thank you, and thank you for being here. When we say we can't do it without you, that's the God's honest truth. We could not do it without you. Last year I mentioned that I had my fingers crossed for a grant, but I wasn't counting my chickens till we had the check in the mail. Well, the check came. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Very exciting. So, and it's really cool because it's a true partnership between the PCS, the Pittsburgh Sarcoma Research Collaborative, and all of you. So basically, real quick, if you want to learn more, there's some awesome posters that my team printed, which are back yonder at our research tent, but I'll give you the skinny of it. It has 4 parts. Part 1 is sustainability. I don't think there will ever be a time where we don't need the support of Pittsburgh Cure Sarcoma. It's just gotten too big and too expensive. But we should probably be doing a better job than we are right now. So the first thing is to try to make the tumor registry and tissue bank a little more sustainable. Part 2 is sort of the scientific heavy lifting. And that's going to leverage the strength of the tumor registry and tissue bank, and also Dr. Ben Nasev. So it's a collaboration between our 2 labs, and Ben is truly one of the world's experts in sarcoma epigenetics. So we're going to do epigenetic profiling on our tumors in our bank, which is at a scale that is unknown in the world. It's going to be a tremendous gift to the whole research community. Parts 3 and 4 are really where you guys come in. I feel like we do an okay job for the patients and families who live here in Allegheny County. But sometimes sarcoma patients and their families, and even the doctors taking care of them in Altoona and Johnstown and Du Bois and Williamsport and all points in West Virginia, kind of feel like they're out on an island. And how can we do a better job for those folks and bringing this awesomeness to them? And the last part is your partnership with science. So you guys come out here and put in your sweat, blood, toil, and tears, and you work so hard for us and raise all this money and do all these wonderful things, but that's kind of where your involvement in research stops. And maybe that's okay, but maybe you want to be more involved in determining what sort of projects are getting funded, what sort of research you would like to see your scientific community doing for you. So, in a nutshell, that's what the grant is, and none of that happens without all the people here giving us the resources to build that tumor registry and tissue bank so that all of us and a guy like Ben Nasev can say, hey, let's take this out for a spin and see what it can do. So, thank you all so much.
Thanks, Kurt.
I'll take Raj. In addition to research support, which has been our mission, we have expanded in a new way. Last year we had the opportunity to fund a grant to support a high school student on his road to learning about sarcoma research and possibly directing his future career. And Matt not only spent the summer with Dr. Lassi, but has also gotten into Yale University and is intent on doing cancer research, hopefully sarcoma, and PCS now has a funded position each year with the Hillman Academy, and I'm going to ask Dr. Lassi to come up and tell you about it.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. I actually brought 3 of my students from this year. Hillman Academy is a program that helps high school students and undergrad students spend an entire summer in the lab. So they're with us for 8 to 10 weeks, get a full research immersion, and have to work really, really hard. But I mean, Maria has been, can you wave? There. She has been with us for 4 years now, so we are clearly doing something right. And this is especially important when we are thinking about rare cancers. Our research community is really, really small. So bringing students in this early, getting them interested in research and in what we do, helps us raise colleagues that are committed to rare cancer research, sarcoma research in the long run, and really help drive research forwards. So thank you all for your support. And to all the high school students out there, look us up. It is an amazing program. The students have a lot of fun. And if you have any questions, find us at the tent. I have 3 student volunteers here who will be answering all of your questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Lassi. All right, now it's time for me to give a quick board report. First off, I'd like to give a shout out to all the board members and the work that they've done. The race this year has met its goal, $425,064. I can't tell you what impact that will have, but it will be tremendous. Last year, we had $370,000 and had 13 research grants. We supported the development of the Cancer Registry and Tissue Bank at WVU. We supported an ongoing research project at AGH. We supported multiple research projects through the UPMC programs. And this year, we'll be able to do even more. So I thank you for that. As of this morning, we had 1,434 people signed up to run, which again is a new record for us, as long as they don't get hit by this backdrop. So we are doing well. Our mission is well respected. We have a collaboration with Cancer Bridges for some mental health support for sarcoma patients and their families, and we're gradually expanding to meet the needs of the sarcoma community. If any of you have suggestions, please don't hesitate to let us know. And if my watch is correct, there are 3 minutes now to line up and get ready to run or ready to walk.
Runners, take your mark. Get set.
My name's Maura, and this is my sarcoma story. I've been a runner since elementary school, and I just finished my 8th half marathon where I got my personal record, and that's when my pain started to get significantly worse. I was 26 years old. I started to get some foot pain, not something that I was too concerned about. I also have a medical condition where I'm predisposed to tumors, so finding a new little lump was not necessarily a concern for me. Once I found the tumor, when I pushed on the back of my leg, I could feel the pain radiate down my leg. I went to the doctor and asked if we could get it removed. They said they would prefer we didn't, because if they nicked something, then I would lose function in my foot, which I didn't want to happen as a runner. So I decided to put off the surgery, and then as time went on, the pain became excruciating. I was exhausted and I couldn't sleep because I was in so much pain. So I made the decision that I would go to the doctor and get it removed and really deal with the consequences of what surgery may bring. And then once I had surgery, I felt great. I was in no pain, and I was really grateful that I made that decision. My surgeon was actually my neighbor, and she had texted my parents to say if she could come over. We, again, thought nothing of it. She was our neighbor. We were like, yeah, of course. I felt great. I was in a great mood. She came over. She sat me down, I believe in this very chair, and told me the tumor, she biopsied the tumor and it was malignant. It took me a second to process. I was like, malignant? What does malignant mean? Because I thought there was no way I could possibly have cancer. I was 26 years old. I was in the best shape of my life, and I felt incredibly healthy. We went to Children's Hospital to meet with the oncologist there. When she told us the prognosis, she had said, if it didn't spread, then you have a 50% chance of living, and if it did, you had a 30% chance. Given that we didn't do anything for about a year and a half, I immediately thought that there's no way it didn't spread to my lungs. And I was very lucky that when I went and got scans, it had stayed in my knee and did not metastasize to my lungs. During my second surgery, that's when they went in just to get those clean margins, which resulted in them taking my perineal nerve, which means I can't lift my foot up. And then for the third surgery, that was the most extensive. It lasted 13 hours. That's when they went in and they did the skin graft and closed everything up. Two of my biggest support systems for this entire process has been my parents. Both my parents were at every appointment, but my dad would come with a notebook and would write every single thing down, to the point where it almost became a joke that as soon as they came in and they saw my dad there, they're like, oh God, this appointment's gonna go forever. Both of them slept in my hospital room the first week I was in the hospital. And then the second week, when I was in the ICU, they weren't allowed to stay. And so before my dad left, every night he would always ask the nurses if they liked Taylor Swift, so that I had something to talk about with them. Sorry, this sucks. No, I'm good. I don't cry ever. And then once I came home, I was still not allowed to get up and move around. So I slept on the couch and my mom slept right next to me. 2 weeks after I got out of the hospital, I found Pittsburgh Cure Sarcoma and I saw that they were having a 5K. I decided, you know what, let me just make a team. We'll see if anyone can come join me and see how much money we can raise. In those 2 weeks, I ended up raising $17,000 and I had 30 people come to the race. I tried to convince myself I would walk it, but my parents said no. So my twin brother pushed me in a wheelchair for the entire 5K. After the race was completed, I had heard there was a survivor photo, thinking I was going to be one of few up there, given how rare I've read any type of sarcoma is, and I was more than shocked to realize there was 40 to 50 people up there with me, and it was incredibly inspiring to realize how big of a community there was when I once thought I was so alone in the cancer sense. I had so many people who can relate to my situation. I knew I wanted to be involved in helping with the 5K. I wanted everyone else who was going through a similar situation to feel the same hope and inspiration that I did. I had doctors early on tell me that I would never run again, and I'm actually training for the Pittsburgh Half Marathon in May, which will be my second half marathon since beating cancer. My mom has always said that I am stronger than my diagnosis, and through radiation, surgery, and recovery, I came out on the other side cancer-free, and I will be 2 years cancer-free in June. My name's Maura, and this is my sarcoma story. I've been a runner since elementary school, and I just finished my 8th half marathon where I got my personal record, and that's when my pain started to get significantly worse. I was 26 years old. I started to get some foot pain, not something that I was too concerned about. I also have a medical condition where I'm predisposed to tumors, so finding a new little lump was not necessarily a concern for me. Once I found the tumor, when I pushed on the back of my leg, I could feel the pain radiate down my leg. I Went to the doctor and asked if we could get it removed. They said they would prefer we didn't, because if they nicked something, then I would lose function in my foot, which I didn't want to happen as a runner. So I decided to put off the surgery, and then as time went on, the pain became excruciating. I was exhausted and I couldn't sleep because I was in so much pain. So I made the decision that I would go to the doctor and get it removed and really deal with the consequences of what surgery may bring. And then once I had surgery, I felt great. I was in no pain, and I was really grateful that I made that decision. My surgeon was actually my neighbor, and she had texted my parents to say if she could come over. We, again, thought nothing of it. She was our neighbor. We were like, yeah, of course. I felt great. I was in a great mood. She came over. She sat me down, I believe, in this very chair, and told me the tumor, she biopsied the tumor and it was malignant. It took me a second to process. I was like, malignant? What does malignant mean? Because I thought there was no way I could possibly have cancer. I was 26 years old. I was in the best shape of my life, and I felt incredibly healthy. We went to Children's Hospital to meet with the oncologist there. When she told us the prognosis, she had said, if it didn't spread, then you have a 50% chance of living, and if it did, you had a 30% chance. Given that we didn't do anything for about a year and a half, I immediately thought that there's no way it didn't spread to my lungs. And I was very lucky that when I went and got scans, it had stayed in my knee and did not metastasize to my lungs. During my second surgery, that's when they went in just to get those clean margins, which resulted in them taking my perineal nerve, which means I can't lift my foot up. And then for the third surgery, that was the most extensive. It lasted 13 hours. That's when they went in and they did the skin graft and closed everything up. Two of my biggest support systems for this entire process has been my parents. Both my parents were at every appointment, but my dad would come with a notebook and would write every single thing down, to the point where it almost became a joke that as soon as they came in and they saw my dad there, they're like, oh God, this appointment's gonna go forever. Both of them slept in my hospital room the first week I was in the hospital. And then the second week, when I was in the ICU, they weren't allowed to stay. And so before my dad left every night, he would always ask the nurses if they liked Taylor Swift, so that I had something to talk about with them. Sorry, this sucks. No, I'm good. I don't cry ever. And then once I came home, I was still not allowed to get up and move around. So I slept on the couch, and my mom slept right next to me. 2 weeks after I got out of the hospital, I found Pittsburgh Cure Sarcoma, and I saw that they were having a 5K. I decided, you know what, let me just make a team. We'll see if anyone can come join me and see how much money we can raise. In those 2 weeks, I ended up raising $17,000, and I had 30 people come to the race. I tried to convince myself I would walk it, but my parents said no. So my twin brother pushed me in a wheelchair for the entire 5K. After the race was completed, I had heard there was a survivor photo, thinking I was going to be one of few up there, given how rare I've read any type of sarcoma is, and I was more than shocked to realize there was 40 to 50 people up there with me, and it was incredibly inspiring to realize how big of a community there was, when I once thought I was so alone in the cancer sense. I had so many people who can relate to my situation. I knew I wanted to be involved in helping with the 5K. I wanted everyone else who was going through a similar situation to feel the same hope and inspiration that I did. I had doctors early on tell me that I would never run again, and I'm actually training for the Pittsburgh Half Marathon in May, which will be my second half marathon since beating cancer. My mom has always said that I am stronger than my diagnosis, and through radiation, surgery, and recovery, I came out on the other side cancer-free, and I will be 2 years cancer-free in June.
Good morning to all of you watching this race virtually. We thank you for your support and hope you're doing well at home. With me is Maura Whalen, whose story you just had a chance to watch. And Maura will introduce herself with a few remarks about her journey.
Thank you so much for watching my video. We appreciate all your support, and we're glad you're here.
Maura, you've gone through a lot to get to this point. Have you gotten back to things that you really like to do, like running?
I have. I actually ran the Pittsburgh Half Marathon this past May, and I broke 2 hours, which was a huge accomplishment. I thought I would never get back to that, so yeah.
Well, that's absolutely wonderful. We thank you for being here with us. We thank you for your support, and your video was just tremendous.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best, and keep running.
Thank you so much.
All right. With me also is Dr. Lisa Ercolano. Lisa is an orthopedic oncologist at Allegheny General. I've known her for, we figured out, almost 20 years now. And she's going to give you a quick update of the support that PGH Sarcoma has given to the research at Allegheny General. Dr. Ercolano.
Thank you, Dr. Goodman. Again, just want to say thank you to everyone for coming out, both in person and virtually today. This event is always so wonderful. All kudos to the Pittsburgh Sarcoma Committee for putting this together and making it bigger and better every year. I'm continually amazed. It has been so important to the research that we're doing over at AHN. We are doing a project where we are collecting blood samples and tumor samples from our patients with sarcoma. And what we've been able to do over the last several years with massive support from PCS is we're able to see, now we're actually seeing 94% concordance in seeing the mutations in the tumor in the blood. So what that has implications for and how we can diagnose, how we can treat, how we can monitor treatment of our patients is enormous. Now to actually see that to fruition and to see it come to life, where we can use this not just in the research lab, but in real time in patients, that's what this support and money has been so huge for. So we're building our database, we're building our techniques, we're building the profiles of different types of sarcomas, and then within single types of sarcomas, seeing the differences in how even that one subtype behaves. And because of the last several years, we're able to see that, and we're building all that information in our lab, and we're going to be able to use this, hopefully, to improve upon how we take care of our patients, which is obviously the most important.
Dr. Ercolano, thank you very much. It's a great change from when I started, where it was an X-ray diagnosis and there was nothing else to help us monitor. And I think this is going to be a game changer in terms of follow-up and knowing when people are at risk and when people are not. So thank you for the work you and Bill are doing, and Pittsburgh PGH Sarcoma will continue to support it. Thank you. We were hoping to have Dr. McChesney from WVU up here today. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it. It's a startup program. Pittsburgh PGH Sarcoma helped them with their freezer to keep their tissue samples viable. And he's taken over from Dr. Brock Lindsay, who is a well-known orthopedic oncologist and researcher. And we're looking to help develop that program south of the Mason-Dixon line. So, Grant, even though you're not here, keep up the good work. With that, we're going to turn everything over to a couple of survivor videos that you can watch, and I will see you at the end of the videos. Thanks again for participating. See you in a little bit.
My name is Lora, and this is my story. My story is one of longevity. I am 41 plus years post-diagnosis. My childhood was normal. I danced, I rode bikes, I played softball, we went on family vacations, we went camping. It was just a typical, awesome childhood. We moved to Bethel Park when I was in 6th grade, and it was the summer after freshman year, so it was 1981, and I just started to notice a pain in my right calf muscle that hadn't really been there before. And one day I was at my aunt's house and I asked her to feel it because I felt something in my leg that was kind of round and hard. And so she felt it and was sort of taken aback, didn't know what it was. She told my parents about it, and we scheduled an appointment with the family doctor. We had a family vacation scheduled coming up, and he said, "Go on the vacation, it's fine." Came back from that vacation and went back to the family doctor, and nothing had really changed. And so I met Dr. Kelly, and Dr. Kelly admitted me to do a biopsy. So I went to Mercy Hospital, and I was in for 10 days, and they did the biopsy and then just a myriad of other tests. He had called them into the office and told them that he suspected that it was a malignant tumor in my right calf muscle called rhabdomyosarcoma. Soft muscle tumors are rare to begin with, and then this was a fraction of a percentage of that. And so he sent me home for a week, and I went to see Dr. Goodman on a Thursday. And so he explained that it was a large tumor, about the size of a softball. And so he said there were two options. We could remove the tumor and rebuild that muscle, and that it would probably be back by the time I was 16 and I would probably not survive. Or we could do an above knee amputation, follow it up with a chemotherapy protocol, and my odds were, a lot better. And I said, yeah. I said, I have a lot of things that I want to do. I want to do the surgery. I want to do the amputation. And I walked through the tunnel from Fall Clinic into Presbyterian Hospital, and we had the surgery the next morning. And Dr. Goodman always laughed, and he said, it was your adolescent angst. He said, you were just on a mission and on a path. And he said, I really, I've lost patients who have hesitated. And he said it was full steam ahead. I had the surgery for the amputation, and about 3.5 weeks later, at the end of September, I did my first chemo treatment. I did my full treatment at Presbyterian Hospital. The staff on Unit 12-3 is where my chemo was, and they were incredible. Those people became family, too. Presbyterian was my home away from home for those 2 years.
Lora is somebody who never used the fact that she had lost her leg as an excuse for anything. As a matter of fact, she made a point to make it not an excuse for anything.
I have done what I wanted to do. I went to Pitt. I got my bachelor's degree in elementary ed, went back to school and got my master's degree. I went back to school again, and I got certified as a national board certified teacher. And I went back to school again and got my elementary principal certification. I love teaching. I love everything about it. So I taught school for 34 years. I just retired in June, and I thought, I miss doing stuff with school and kids. So I tutor, and I also work at a local learning center. You know, Dr. Goodman said that was just your whole mindset from the beginning. Let's just do this and keep moving forward.
Can't even begin to tell you the number of kids whose lives she's touched. You can't count it.
So I met Lora 17 years ago. I've really gotten to know her pretty well. She's not going to not do things because she only has one leg. She's very determined not to have this ruin her life.
I actually have a journal that one of my middle school teachers gave to me, and she put an inscription in the front, and she just said, you know, everybody has a story to tell, and the best stories to tell are your stories. I wanted to do my best in stuff, so I think it was just a drive inside. You know, this was something that was unexpected. You know, it's part of my story, but it wasn't the biggest part of my story. It was just part of the story. Dr. Goodman is, I call him my hero. There was one time, it was probably 20 years ago, and I said something about coming to see him every year. And he said, you do realize that I stopped needing to see you probably 10 years ago. And he said, you're just kind of cool to hang out with. And a few years after that, I asked him at that point, if I came to you today with the same exact scenario that I did back in 1981, would the outcome have been different? And he said, no. When he retired a few years ago, he continued to call me, and he told me about Pittsburgh Cure Sarcoma. And he said, I really would love for you to get involved. So here I am now. I am excited about PCS. I've already met some awesome people, but I've jumped in. So I'm helping with, you know, newsletter articles and things like that. Looking forward to the first race in June to go to. I hope that my story can help PCS in its mission to get people motivated. I want the answer to the question, you know, would it be different today? I want that answer to be yes. It's different today because the research is there. If my story and other people that have gone through it helps turn that last page, then it's all worth it.
Hi, my name is Lynne. I'm a 4.5-year cancer survivor. My tumor was a GIST tumor, a gastrointestinal stromal tumor. I first realized that something was not right at all when my girls and I went on a trip to New York City after eating at a really good little Irish pub. I got severe abdominal pain. From that point on, just continued to get worse. I couldn't eat even a couple bites without having severe pain. I actually first had gone back to work thinking it was not anything big, and then went to see my PCP, who then sent me for a CT scan. When I had my scan, I had a large tumor in my stomach, and so I ended up getting referred into Dr. Holtzman, and he basically told me he thought that, you know, my tumor would be of the type that was slower growing, and that I would be able to get it removed, but that I needed to see Dr. Burgess, who I then met after that visit. So I was set up for surgery and went in 5 weeks after I was initially diagnosed.
Lynne had a gastric GIST, which is the most common place for a GIST to grow. There's about 5,000 gastrointestinal stromal tumors per year in America, and the vast majority of them are in the stomach. So what we're able to do usually is go in laparoscopically, and we're able to staple off that portion of the stomach, freeing up and removing the tumor through smaller incisions. And that's exactly how we met and operated on Lynne.
At first, when I was diagnosed, I hadn't told my girls. They were both involved with college at the time. My girls were wonderful in terms of support during this time. We have some really great friends and that came, and stood by us the whole time. The surgery actually went really well. I was not feeling well when I went in. I had continued to work up until the point that I had my surgery. At the time, I was working as a pediatric critical care at Children's Hospital. I float between all of the critical care units in the emergency room. Everybody's saying, I bet you're dreading this. And I said, no, I'm so ready. I just wanted to move forward and get to feeling better again. After my surgery was all done, I had to wait for the pathology to come back. For me, once my pathology came back, I was able to only take that medicine once a day. And at this point, I remain on imatinib, mesylate, and I'm doing very well.
After we removed the gastrointestinal stromal tumor, we saw that there were features of her tumor that made her at higher risk. In the past, before 20 years ago, all we had as treatment was surgery. Now, through research, we were able to identify certain action proteins and mechanisms in this tumor that we could take advantage of with targeted therapies. With Lynne, we were able to identify that she was at higher risk for recurrence, and we were able to do a combined approach, surgery and medical therapy, to decrease her chance of recurrence, extend her survival, and give her a better chance at cure.
Once I got through that sort of piece of things, I had also been in school at the time. I somehow survived through school and thought at one point I wasn't going to be able to finish, but I had already spent too much time and energy working towards my master's degree, and I didn't want to leave that unfinished. And graduation was in August of 2019. I heard about Pittsburgh Cure Sarcoma through Dr. Burgess and her staff. What I learned from having done the walk these past couple of years is that there wasn't much support for sarcoma research out there at all, nor was there funding available for this type of research. So whatever I can do to help somebody else get to where they're going and support the research to find new ways to treat people or cure this type of cancer, we'll do whatever we can.
There you go. He loves doing that. A roommate and I got Slayter sophomore year of college. Slayter was with us every day. I mean, he was at every party in college. We took him everywhere with us. We always took him on campus. He loved people. Slayter had a slight limp, and we kind of assumed that it was from when he just kind of jumped off the bed too many times that day, or just kind of sprained something. So we took him to the vet, and she was pretty sure that it was like early signs of having the osteosarcoma cancer in his shoulder. It makes you start to think about having to say like goodbye to your dog, which is obviously never a great thing to think about. So it was kind of heavy, So yeah, we found out, and she passed us along to the specialists at PBSEC.
My name is Pedro Rivera. I'm a second-year surgery resident at Pittsburgh Veterinary Specialty and Emergency Center. I currently treat both canine and feline patients, anything for soft tissue and orthopedic conditions, both elective and emergent. Sarcoma is the most common primary bone tumor that we see in dogs. What we do for diagnosis is essentially obtaining radiographs. Radiographs gives us actually a presumptive diagnosis because 85% or more of these aggressive bone lesions that we see are going to be, unfortunately, osteosarcoma. When it comes to treatment for these animals, we have anything from base pain management. We can escalate to local treatments like radiation therapy, where we focus the beam at the area where the bone is affected, or we can consider doing surgery. Surgery has two tiers. We can consider amputation, where we are actually removing the entire limb. The other would be limb-sparing surgery, where we're actually removing the piece of bone.
So it seemed like the main treatment for it was amputation. The vet assured us that it was going to be harder for us than it was for him, that he would adapt. We decided to go for it and we got the amputation. It was hard to see him at first, but I mean, he walked out of there the next day by himself, and he's 100 and some pounds, so you know, I wasn't carrying him. And that kind of gave me hope, you know, because he walked into the house, he walked outside to go to the bathroom. You know, in a couple weeks he was walking up the stairs.
Most of these animals will cope very well after surgery on being on 3 legs. They can run, they can play, they can snuggle, they can be the good old dog they used to be before. It's been an honor to be part of this great study. Essentially, it's a partnership between Pittsburgh Veterinary Specialty Hospital and also Dr. Weiss Osteosarcoma Research Group. Our partnership is based on we obtain the samples, normal bone, cancer bone, and also blood. If we can learn more about this cancer based on what we learn on dogs, and if we can actually try the different treatments and see how patients respond, and we can hopefully translate that to the humans and the kids down the road.
The dog model of osteosarcoma is the best model of osteosarcoma that exists on planet Earth. It is far superior in every way imaginable to the mouse models that we use and to the cell cultures we use. I was able to find some veterinary oncologists at the Pittsburgh Veterinary Specialty and Emergency Center in the North Hills who treat canine osteosarcoma. And we reached out to them, and to find that they were really excited about collaborating with us in research was just fantastic. And it's been a wonderful partnership that we certainly hope to develop over the years.
So why are dogs a great model to study osteosarcoma? First of all, the incidence. Dogs are 27 times higher the frequency of having osteosarcoma as compared to humans. That means that we can gather more samples in a reasonable time, and also the longevity of the dog as compared to humans. We can actually do treatment trials and see how the disease will behave throughout the life of the dog as compared to a human. The progression of the disease is very similar. It starts in the bone and it spreads in the lungs. The cost is typically a little bit cheaper to do studies in canines rather than in humans. The environment, these animals, they share the same environment as us, so we can hopefully eliminate certain environmental factors. So it's a win-win situation. We are actually helping them, and also they're helping us by obtaining these samples and helping us learn more about this disease.
When Slayter and I were at the vet for the appointment to schedule the surgery, and I was signing all the paperwork, they asked me if they could donate his leg, and I just asked them why, and they told me it's because they send it down for research, and they actually use it to try to research off of for children and for adults that have osteosarcoma. So, you know, of course I said yes. To think that that could go to the research to help human beings too was awesome. I didn't see why anybody would say no to that question.
So people should care about the Pittsburgh Cure Sarcoma because we are gathering funds to essentially promote further research so we can actually understand how this cancer behaves, so we can actually find a cure one day and improve the quality of life of not only your kids, but also dogs. I'm also in line for a grant. So your contribution to Pittsburgh Cure Sarcoma, it's going to elevate science and hopefully find us some answers. For centuries, dogs have joined us humans in our travels as man's best friend. So it's only fitting that we value dogs as our companions in our journey for scientific discovery.
Yeah, so he's the same Slayter, 3 legs. We just weren't ready to say goodbye to him yet. And, you know, this gave us, I mean, he's been the same dog just a couple months after, you know, losing a leg, and that was awesome for us. It was worth every penny for us then, you know.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Rush, and this is my daughter. I'm Jamie Rush, and this is my story. Jamie was a typical 12-year-old girl, very active, always smiling, and had lots of bumps and bruises. She came home one day and said, "Mom, look at this." In 2015, I found a lump on my knee. We went to the orthopedic oncologist. He did not have the best of news, especially for a young girl and her family. We had received a phone call on a Friday from the orthopedic surgeon that did Jamie's initial surgery. And he basically said, "I don't think we have anything to worry about, but we have an appointment for you set up with another doctor on Monday." It was a very scary weekend. We kind of anticipated what the results were going to be, but tried to stay positive that hopefully that wasn't what was going to happen. And he did give us the results as any normal doctor would. It was kind of just the facts. But he said I had myxoid liposarcoma and that he was going to have to do another surgery to make sure that all the cancer tissue and everything was out. My parents started crying, so I started crying, and I still don't understand everything that happened. But the thing that scared us the most was the word amputation, when he said that that was a possibility. And I know that scared Jamie when she heard that too. And so we left there with our additional surgery date and then went home to tell family. The one thing I did understand was that amputation meant that I probably wouldn't be able to golf, at least for a while, and that was very scary. I started golf when I was 7 years old, so this is my 10th year going into golf, and I started just one day. I asked my dad just to go to the driving range. Ever since then, I made the best of friends, and I just have wanted to keep doing it because it gets my stress out. It's fun. It's just everything I love. So after the surgery, Jamie had regular appointments with her doctor where she continued to receive MRI scans on her knee, and mostly the chest was because that was where, if it would metastasize, that's where they said it would metastasize to. So, and there was always that deep breath and nervousness before the appointment. And then that really big sigh of relief after the appointment when the doctor gave us good news. And this all happened in 7th grade. And it was middle school. So yes, it was middle school. Already so an awkward time. Awkward time, very nerve-wracking time, and then on top of all of this. Yeah. So that cycle continued up and down. And we hope to have our final appointment later this year with her doctor at 5 years. Now that we're coming up to the 5-year mark, it really feels like everything has gone uphill and it's going to continue to go uphill. Every appointment was just a big relief, and every good report just made it that much better. It was a celebration? Yeah, it was a celebration. Getting diagnosed with cancer is a very overwhelming thing, and it's very nice to have people to support you. And the people at the Pittsburgh PGH Sarcoma Walk were very supportive, and I just want to continue to support other people that are going through the same thing that I went through. I remember seeing a flyer in Jamie's doctor's office about the Pittsburgh PGH Sarcoma Walk. So after her diagnosis, our family went out that first summer and initially walked. Yeah, we walked together. For the following 2 years, we walked together, and then last year we made our team to continue the support and bring it out to more people. And Jamie's team name is Rush to Crush Sarcoma. And after waiting 6 months to get back into the game, I thought I would lose my mojo, but it actually gave me more motivation to keep playing and keep going and get better. Jamie wears her scar proudly. It's a reminder to us of the conviction that she has to raise awareness and support others who are diagnosed. and also to remember that she's a fighter.
Welcome back. I hope you've enjoyed the survivor stories. It's great to know that we're making progress in keeping people alive and active. I just want to remind you that June 19th, 2027, pardon me, will be the race next year. We'd love to have you here in the park with us because it's a great event. But certainly if you can't be here, join us virtually once again. So again, thank you for your support. Thank you for being here virtually. Have a great day and have a good year.
Well, hello everyone. I don't think we could have handpicked a better weather day. And congratulations to all of the runners and walkers and strollers and puppies and everybody that did the race. Because the first person crossed the finish line before I even made it to the middle of the parking lot. Okay, so we have some overall winners. In the women's category, the top runner with a score of 20 minutes and 19 seconds, Allison Grisette. Not far behind at 21 minutes and 1 second, Julie Pazzola. And keeping it really, really close, hundredths of a second, 21 minutes and 54 seconds, Katie Helbling. Congratulations. Okay, in our men's division, our top runner with 18 minutes and 4 seconds, Paul Black. In second, 18 minutes, 20 seconds, William Iyer. And really, really close behind that, 18 minutes, 37 seconds, Kyle Ladow. I'm trying. I'm a teacher. I'm doing the best I can. Okay, so we're going to move into our top 3 finishers in each age division. We're going with the men first just because it's easier than flipping the pages back and forth. So, our men under 15 in first place, Ian Intini. In second place, Grayson Kukler. Is that right? Congratulations, Grayson. And in third place, Wyatt Smith. In our men category, age 20 to 29, in first place, Austin Rinke. In second place, Noah Richardson. And in third place, Ben Backdayan? Ben Backdayan. I want to say his name correctly for it. In our men category, age 30 to 39, first place, Jake. We lost a microphone. In first place, Jacob Montag. In second place, Benjamin Dobias. And in third place, Drew Sherba. In our men's category, age 40 to 49, first place, David Eldridge. First. Second place, Steve Dalton. And in third place, Matthew Ote. Congratulations to all of our top 3 finishers so far. In our men's category, age 50 to 59. In first place, Gordon Lesh. In second place, Todd Keller. And in third place, Frederick Zelelznik. In our men's category, age 60 to 69, in first place, Mike Clyer. In second place, Adam Ennis. And in third place, Bob Pudlow. In our men's category, age 70 and up, first place, Dean Jensen. In second place, I'll try, David Ziemniski. And in third place, Richard Monheim. Congratulations to all of those runners. Okay, on to our women. In the women's category, under 15. In first place, Ellie Smith. In second place, Winona Sutton. And in third place, Hadley Lesh. Women age 15 to 19. In first place, Addie Singer. In second place, Elena Eldridge. And in third place, Flannery Muscar. Let's keep it going for our women aged 20 through 29. In first place, Ashley Zodzinski. We'll try to find Ashley. In second place, Jenna Day. And in third place, Sarah Hackey. In our women's category, age 30 through 39, in first place, congratulations to Ashley McBride. In second place, Kelsey Wilkins. third place, Megan Rula. Women age 40 through 49, in first place, Megan Detling. In second place, Ashley Farah. And in third place, Jessica Redinger Litke. In our women's category, age 50 through 59, in first place, Cindy Yendel. In second place, Patty Lora. And in third place, Shannon Harpst. In our women's category, age 60 through 69, in first place, Lisa Jacobs. In second place, Donna Grott. And in third place, Teresa Gallagher. And rounding out our runners, the women age 70 and up, in first place, Sherry Greenberg. In second place, Jennifer Sassaman. And in third place, Cindy Lesker. Let's give a round of applause to all of our finishers, top three and otherwise, because every one of those steps is taking us closer to a cure. Congratulations, thank you for coming out. We appreciate your support. Thank you for running, and we hope to see you running with us again next year.
Hi, my name is Maura. In 2024, I was diagnosed with sarcoma cancer in this June. I am now 2 years cancer-free. This year, I had the privilege to share my story, and you can find it on the Pittsburgh Cure Sarcoma YouTube page. This is my third year participating in this event, and each year it just gets so much better. The first time I came here, and they announced the survivor's photo, I was nervous I'd be one of few up here, and was shocked to see that it was actually full of survivors just like me. Hopefully next year we have more survivors and need a bigger stage. Thank you everyone for being here, and I can't wait for next year.
Thank you, Maura. Just to update you, as we did to people on the virtual, I've asked Dr. Ercolano from Allegheny General Hospital to talk about the research that's been supported by your donations and support of PCS, and it is now in its third year of development, and it's going to be significant. Dr. Ercolano.
Thank you, Dr. Goodman. So first, just thanks to everyone for coming out. It's an amazing event every year. Huge kudos to the committee who does all the work behind the scenes and makes this as huge and impressive and wonderful as it is. So for us over at AHN, this has been enormous because the funds that are raised are helping us in the work that we're doing. We are basically working on a project where we're able to, in our lab, identify the mutations in the tumor and then identify the same mutations in the blood. And what we've done over the last several years, because of the funding that we're able to gain from PCS, we're seeing 94% concordance in that number, meaning it's working and that we're able to see these mutations in the blood. That has a lot of implications that can help us to diagnose better, earlier, to monitor disease, to see if treatment's working, to know when we might need to change treatment or adjust care in different ways. And now what we're doing is we're building that database and we're building more and more information. So we're building out this information for the different subtypes, and then within each subtype, different tumors that carry the same name but may behave differently. So we're looking at it at the very granular level, and we're learning more about it, hoping that in the near future, what's happening in our lab can actually be used for our patients. And it's only really truly because of PCS funds that we were able to keep this going. Otherwise, it just sits in a lab on a desk, and it needs to get out to all of us. So thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, Dr. Ercolano. I'm going to give a quick update on behalf of Dr. McChesney from WVU, because our support extends across the Mason-Dixon line to those people who have sarcoma and are being treated at WVU. Dr. Brock Lindsay started their sarcoma program. Dr. Grant McChesney has taken over that program, and several grants have gone down to to WVU. Oh, Grant, I won't take you. There you go, Dr. McChesney.
Dr. Goodman, thank you for that very kind introduction, and thank you for everyone for coming out and enjoying a beautiful day of weather and community. And thanks to PCS, we have been able to found a tissue bank, which we're currently continuing to recruit into over the past almost 2 years now. And currently, our laboratory testing for that is looking at in vitro immunotherapy testing in a zero gravity setting. So the potential idea of trying different existing immunotherapies on patient individualized cancer cells and looking for possible pathways to more medical systemic treatment. So it's been very interesting, exciting. We're continuing to recruit into our tissue bank. And thank you very much to the support of PCS for making that possible. And thank you so much, Dr. Goodman.
Thank you, Dr. McChesney. Brad?
Okay, this is exciting. It's time for the survivors photo. So I need all the survivors to come up to the stage right now so we can take a picture. To all the survivors, please make your way to the stage and join me up here for a photo.
So yeah, they got a couple of my tumors, so that's in the lab. I donated.
Once again, at this time, we are asking that all survivors please report to the stage area. All survivors, please report to the stage area for a group photo.